Okay, we're gonna try this again. Hello, everyone. I had to end my live before, cause I had to end my live before because I got a phone call. But I'm back. Excuse me. I hope you guys can hear me. Oh, now that hold on, I need to find my phone. I need to find my I don't know where my. Here it is. All right, I'm gonna check it on my phone. Play YouTube. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Okay, I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. So I'm about to check. Please, let me see. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, ah, okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me. My TV is not. Dang, it was just about to do it. But hopefully you guys can hear me. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started because I don't want to be on here for that long. So I just wanted to come on live and say the difference between knowing when to walk away from someone versus like when they're the one. And you know, please, the two people that just got in here, can you guys let me know if you guys can hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. um, but knowing the difference between someone that's the one and someone that's not the one. So when someone is the really, can you guys can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Oh my gosh, like for real, like can you guys hear me? Like for real, for real. Okay, thank you so much, German. Thank you so much. Hi. Hi, John. How are you doing? Thank you so much, German Castellio. Um, so knowing when someone's the one and when someone's not. So it's like when you know someone's the one, like you guys won't be talking about inappropriate stuff. You guys, the comments, it's really getting to know someone, because God sends people and the devil sends people. Okay, so you need to know that when you're looking and waiting for your spouse. Thank you so much. When you're looking and waiting for your spouse, it's very important to look at the red flags. Um, um, it's very important to look at the red flags. So if the person that you are, you know, um, oh, thank you so much. If the person that you are talking to is talking inappropriate and stuff like that, that's not the one. If someone, how you know that that person is the one is that you guys would have conversations like no other. The conversations would be different. The conversations would be, about each other, about 90% of it will be about God and what God has in store for your life. You know what I'm saying? When God created marriage, it's to bring two people together to catapult them um, into different levels to get them closer to their purpose. And when you meet someone and they're not taking you to that level, it's going to be a disconnect. And your relationship is going to be on a foundation of um, lust, sex, immorality. It's not going to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So when you are courting someone or when you're dating someone, you definitely want to take your time, get to know the person. Don't start talking about, oh, I think you're going to be my wife, or I think you're going to be my husband, because that's where it can go left. You know what I'm saying? Um, just know that God can bring people in your life to God can bring people in your life, and Satan can bring people in your life. The people that Satan bring in your life is not people that is going to move you to a higher level to God. The people that Satan brings in your life is people that's going to hold you back, keep you stagnant, keep you going back to your past. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to move forward. And the people that God brings in your life, obviously they're going to do the opposite. They're going to take you higher, they're going to take you closer to him, and you're going to grow. You're going to be a better person than you were before. That's why it's a partnership. Um, and it's like, I used to have Threads and I deleted it because a lot of people were on there trying to find their spouse. And a lot of people on there were Christians, so-called, and they were single and they were wanting to find their spouse. But it's like they were talking mostly about relationships than they were about God. And it's just like, um, there's like God was telling me when it comes to marriage is more than just what you could do in the bedroom, what food you can make, what just being married and being with the person that you love for the rest of your life. Marriage is about covering. The husband is the head of the household. He's the covering. He's supposed to be covering the family to go to church, to get baptized, to get go in prayer, fasting, worship. He's the covering. If there's a demonic presence, or if there's a anything off in the household, he's supposed to, be aware of that. And okay, sometimes he may not be aware of it, and maybe the wife is aware of it, but there has to be a collaboration. If his wife comes up to him and says, oh, I feel something in the spirit, he needs to take initiative and be like, okay, we're instantly going into warfare. Ain't no sitting back watching TV and being like, all right, babe, you go handle that. No, even if he was watching TV, he's turning the TV on pause and he's going to go into spiritual warfare. There's no playing around with it. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how you know, like, if the man that you're talking to is for God or not, is from God or not. Because if he's not quick to discern, if he's not quick to notice when the atmosphere has shifted, God is no longer in the atmosphere, or whatever the case may be, if he's not spiritually aware, that's a problem. Because if you guys get married, that's when all attacks are going to be coming. That's why a lot of marriages, they have infidelity, they have lies, they have cheating, they have all this, because the foundation is not, no one is spiritually alert. No one is knowledgeable. We're so knowledgeable in the worldly aspect, as far as like, oh, I cook for my man, I like rub his back, or I do this and do that. But when it comes to spiritual warfare, we're getting our butts kicked. You know what I'm saying? And we like, some of the women blame the husband, some of the husbands blame the wife, and they say, oh, marriages don't last because of money, or marriages don't last because of they don't spend enough time. But it's like marriages don't last because there's a demonic spirit that entered that marriage, and because the two bodies in that marriage didn't recognize that their marriage is under spiritual attack. They got attacked and their marriage crumbled, you know. um and this is why you have to have a solid foundation and get to know the person that you're saying is that one. And it's like, if you're not allowing yourself to get to know someone, and not even getting to know someone, but asking God and getting God involved every step of the way, like, okay, God, do you want me to call this person today? Should I reach out to this person today? Should I pray for this person? Like, what should I do? Or God, I really like this person, like, but I don't want to put this person before you. I don't want to be on the phone with this person more than I'm on the phone with you. You know what I'm saying? The man or woman you choose to be your future wife or husband, he or she has to be from the same church or in the same area, like the same love for God. Um, um, Sometimes God, well, I mean, I would definitely say, like, Christians cannot marry a Muslim or anyone outside of the believing in Jesus Christ, for sure. Like, that's just a no-go. Um, but God will sometimes, like, your spouse doesn't necessarily have to be in the same area as you, because I know a lot of people that they met their spouse in another country or they met their spouse in another state. Um, but you definitely need to be married to someone that is spiritually literate, and someone that is for sure God-fearing of Jesus, of course, God and the Holy Spirit. um you know the husband has to be the head of the household. And it's not just financially, he needs to take charge. He needs to be the covering for the family. He needs to be the prayer warrior. He needs to be um that one that his wife can lean on and call on, like, and same with the wife also needs to be that protecting. She needs to be, you know uh that loving wife and mother, but she also needs to be that spiritual, that prayer warrior, in the spirit. So um but yeah, it definitely goes both ways, but God holds more responsibility on the man than on the woman. And men, like, that is really walking with God, takes that role very serious, and they tell their wife, no, like, I'm the head of this household, submit to me. Like, it's not like in a controlling way, but it's like, I'm the head of this household. I'm gonna protect this household, no, physically and spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just gonna be looking out for burglars coming through the window, but it's also gonna be demonic spirits coming through the window. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah. And the couple is going to be a power couple. It's not going to be a lazy couple. Like, they're going to definitely be powerful. Um, but this is why preparing yourself for your wife and your husband is very important. It's not just about getting your body right, which that is part of it, but it's about being spiritually there. It's about being a prayer warrior, intercessor, fasters. Oh my gosh, it's just being involved with the spirit realm, having power and authority, walking in that. You know what I'm saying? 2 Corinthians 6:14 says, "Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. For what partnership has righteousness? What this? Is this applied to that?" Yes, yeah. Definitely. You should not be, yeah, because if you are unequally yoked, like, if I was to date someone that doesn't believe in God, oh, we're going to forever be attacked in our relationship because he doesn't believe in God. So, or Jesus, or the spiritual realm. So there's going to be all types of spirits coming in and out. And, we're going to constantly be arguing because, he doesn't know how to pray. He doesn't know how to fast. He doesn't know the spiritual realm, and he's going to be letting everything just be downloaded in him, you know? He's probably going to be smoking and cussing and acting crazy while I'm over here trying to have peace, but I can't have peace because my peace goes because we're arguing, you know? And the relationship is not going to last. It's really not going to last. So you definitely want to be equally yoked with someone, or say that person does believe in a higher power or whatever, but that higher power is not God, it's not Jesus, you know? So it's like, even if that person says they believe in a higher power, it's like they're talking, you know, they bring in a Buddha statue and they're putting money on it and stuff like that. It's just not going to work because you're serving a false God. So you definitely want to be equally yoked with someone that believes in God, but not just says that they believe in God, but actually walks it. Because there's a lot of people that put on a good game and say, oh, I believe in God and Jesus and stuff like that, and but their fruit holds no weight. Like, their fruit is rotten, you know? It's so easy to impress someone by saying, oh, I believe in God. And I've had guys tell me, oh, I believe in God, I believe in a higher power. But when it came down to it, they really didn't believe in God. Like, they were just like, oh, I just said that because I wanted to impress you. You know, it's like, no, you know. So and it'll come out too, because if you're constantly talking about God, it's gonna bother them, you know. And say if they're only with you for relations and you're not giving them relations, it's gonna bother their spirit, because, you know, they wanna that's what I was about to say, their fruit. Yeah. Listen, God, Jesus told us in the word to judge them by their fruit. You know what I'm saying? Because people can talk a lot of game. I mean, even Jesus said that, you know, with your lips you say you're for me, but your heart is far from me, you know. So it's like people give that good lip service, but no one is really giving God real praise. That's why he said those that worship me must worship me in spirit and in truth. And no one's really worshiping God in spirit and in truth if, you know, you're not really reading the word. Like, if you're not reading the Bible every day, if you're not, you know, praising, worshiping and fasting and interceding and praying and stuff, you're not really being, you know, connected with God. You're kind of just doing your own thing, you know what I'm saying? And that's honestly what I was doing lately. I just been reading my Bible verse on my Bible app, and I was just, you know, listening to my gospel music, but I wasn't being heavy in the word until today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was back heavy in the word today, and it just, I was so emotional, you know? I go to cosmetology school. That's why I have this mannequin, because I'm about to go on my other live YouTube and do a demo. But I had to leave school early today because I was convicted. I had a lot of things that was pointed out to me that I fell short of, and I dropped the ball, you know. And you know, it's just, you know, and my discernment was on high today. Like, it was very high today. Like, the love that I have for God and Jesus was so evident today. I mean, I really love God so much, and Jesus, I just love them so much that I had to just walk away from school for today. Like, I was so, like, it was rough. It was really, really rough today. Most of the churches nowadays are full of people with a lot of emotions. Yeah. You know, people are just going through the motions of church. No one's really having church. No one's really getting breakthrough. You know, they're just getting these cute little sermons. No one's getting demons broken off of them. No one's, you know, rising, like, to their potential. No, I just feel, you know, that just from what I've been seeing on social media, it's just cute titles and people walking out the same way they walked in, broken, still filled with demons, still struggling. Like, people are posting more of their relationship or shopping or their new book that came out or their oil or whatever than they are about the kingdom of God and saving souls and stuff like that. Like, You know, it's just, or their music that's about to drop. You know, it's like um, no one's talking about getting prepared for your what you know, getting prepared for marriage, getting, you know, spiritual warfare. No one's talking about, you know, and hey, maybe no one's talking about it because God's telling me to talk about it. Hence why I'm on this live right now, because, you know, talking about the difference between knowing when to walk away from someone versus when they're the one. And when you walk away from someone, that's you walking away from someone that was not supposed to be in your life. Like, um, God will show you the signs, and the longer you keep the longer you keep that person on your hip, you know, draining you, you dragging them, trying to make them fit like Abraham did. What's his name? Not Isaac. Abraham did. Lot. The slower they're gonna slow you down, and you're not gonna get to your actual purpose. And God is not gonna give you what He wants to give you, because He knows you're gonna give half of what He gives you to that person. And it's like, no, that person is not for you. That person is draining you. That person is using you. That person is not from God. That person is from Satan himself. And it's like, for me, I learned that. Like, I just, you know, I had to, you know, walk away from certain people, you know. Um, and there were some people that had to walk away from me, you know. Um, and you know, everyone just has their, not, and it's not saying that they're bad people, but they're just not right for me in this season that I'm in right now, you know. Um, um, and it's okay. Like, if you feel like you need to take a break from someone, take that break, get with God. And if God says, yeah, I need you to take a break from that person, take a break from the person. You know, don't put like, oh, I'm just gonna not talk to them for 2 days. Like, just, you know, like for me, I'm going on a 21-day release. So I'm releasing all frustration, all aggravation, all stress. um I'm releasing certain people. Uh I'm releasing just everything that was tying me down for the past few months, and just letting it go. They don't feel what you feel from God. Am I right? Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, you know, you gotta watch out for the people that constantly just talk about sex, constantly talk about, you know, uh, things that's just not getting you closer to God. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be around and talk to people that, when you're having a weakness, they can pull you out of that. You know what I'm saying? And not sit there and join you with it. I'm not saying people should be perfect and, you know, whatever, but it's like, if someone is saying they want to pursue you and stuff like that, and they see that you're wanting to have this relationship with God, and you want to do everything right, and you want to be right with God, and they see that you are kind of stumbling, if they don't try to like help you with that, like help you not to stumble and fall, and they just allow you to fall and they fall with you, like, that's not someone that you want to be with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be with someone that, like, for me, if I'm falling or if I'm struggling with something, I need someone to, that person that's pursuing me, I need them to be like, you know what, let's pray, let's get God involved, you know, let's take a break real quick. You know what I'm saying? Not someone that's going to engage in it, and, you know, because I'm having a weak moment, you know. Um, so hopefully, I pray this makes sense to you guys, but all I'm saying is, when you want to know if someone's really from God, the person that's really from God will, like I said, it will lead, that person will lead you closer to God. And when the person is from Satan, you could tell, because none of the conversations that you guys will have will be pleasing unto God. Um, they would say things that would contradict what you know from the Bible. And you know, for me, sex, it has to be inside the marriage, definitely. Oh, I'm happy it makes sense. Yeah, for sure, it definitely has to, and you know, again, and sex is not just sex, includes phone sex, it includes masturbation, it includes uh seeing someone changing their clothes. Like, that's all part of, like, all this. Like, if you are, you know, excuse me, if you're dating someone and you go to someone's house and they're like, oh, I want you to see how I look in this shirt, tell me how I look in this shirt, and the guy, let's say he has his shirt off, no, just be like, wait, put your shirt on first and then I'll see. You know what I'm saying? Don't watch him change. Same thing with the female. Like, because you're now lusting with your eyes, you're now looking at something that you should not be seeing. If you know if you guys are talking on the phone and it's late night, and you know, you guys start sounding all sensual and stuff like that, the conversation needs to end. Like, if you're saying to yourself, man, they really sound good on the phone right now, it's time for you to cut the conversation, because it's gonna go left real quick. You know what I'm saying? If you're in person with someone, and you know it's just you and that person, and you know you guys are like moving closer to each other, you guys are looking at each other with that certain look, it's time to go, because it's gonna go left. You know what I'm saying? And this is how you could test the fruit of the other person, if that person is like engaging in it, or if they're like, you know what, I think it's time for us to go. And don't just wait for that person. You guys got to take initiative too. Like, also take initiative and say, you know what, this is going left, I think it's time for us to go. Even though you may have that urge to still want to, like, you know oh, I'll just stay, it'll be innocent, we won't do nothing. No, you are going to feel happy the next day knowing that you walked away from a situation that could have gone left. For me as a man, it's very hard not to see women, especially in the summertime, when they dress very, but I just try to look down or turn my head around. So for me, it's like, when women have like bikinis or like summer dresses, it's like, as a man, it's like, yeah, they look good or whatever, they look beautiful. But for me, I feel like, in a sense, that's natural. It's just when you start, like, you know looking at a woman's body and being like, wow, she has a nice body, and then you walk up on her and be like, hey, can I get your number? You already set the tone of, I'm looking at her sexually. I only wanted to get her number because I like the way her body looks in that dress. Not, wow, I seen this radiance about her, or God told me to go speak to her. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you could, like, turning your head is okay, like, not staring and stuff like that, or looking down. But it's like, you definitely want to conquer that. Excuse me. You definitely want to conquer that, because you turning your head or like looking down is kind of like a band-aid over the situation, versus dealing with whatever lust you may have, or whatever seduction you may have. Like, you definitely want to handle that in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to get to a point where you can see women look in a certain way and you don't, get aroused or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely be praying with you with that. And I think that's, I mean, it's the same way with us females. I mean, when the summertime comes, there's guys going jogging with no shirts on, and some guys out here be having nice bodies, but it's like, having self-control of, okay, that person, yeah, they have a nice body, but what is their spirit like? Like, men always looks at the outer appearance, like, okay, that girl, she has a nice body, or that guy has a nice body, but what is a spirit like? Because that person could be looking so right on the outside, but their inside is ugly, it's dirty, it's filled with demons, and like, it's infested. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you need to think. Like, think like that. Like, okay, that person may be pretty, but what is their spirit like? Because that girl can be pretty, and then you go to talk to her, and she's cussing, she's, not talking proper. She's like really, like, what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get turned off, like, so you definitely want to, again, check the fruit of the person, um, and not get so wrapped up in the appearance of it, because you definitely want to get to know the person for the person and not for their body. You know what I'm saying? Not saying you do that, but I'm just saying. But yeah. So I'm happy that this made sense. For anyone that's on here and anyone that's watching the replay, I thank you guys so much for listening. I didn't want to make this long because it's been a long day for me, and I almost canceled the live because, like, I almost canceled the live because it was just like, today was a rough day for me. But I definitely want to come on here and be obedient to God and talk about it, because a lot of people right now, they're single, they're waiting for their spouse and stuff, but marriage is a spiritual thing. It's not a worldly thing. It's not an earthly thing. It's a spiritual thing. It's a covenant with God, and it's a covenant with you and that person. And there's a lot that goes along with being married, so it's not just about, being with someone for the rest of your life. It's really, a partnership. And if you don't build that solid foundation, like I was saying earlier, with your marriage, it's gonna crumble. Doesn't matter how fine the person is or whatever, it's not gonna work. Thank you. It was pretty nice chatting with you, and it all makes sense. Oh, same, likewise. I'm so happy. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I gotta charge my phone, and I'm gonna go on my other YouTube live, my business page, God's Chosen Hair Care. I'm gonna be doing a demo on my mannequin. So, but I gotta charge my phone first. So I appreciate you guys all for joining, and thank you for the likes, the comments, the subscribes. I appreciate it. And yeah, I pray you guys have a blessed night, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Take care.